Hey, hey, what's up, people? Give you guys a little bit of time to get in here. See, I got somebody in here already. If you're in here, say what's up, say hello. Tell me who you are, where you're from, if you like to do so. Because I know sometimes people don't really want to, they don't want to disclose who they are. And that's okay. I have a lot of silent listeners. But I'm also going to go ahead and get myself prepared here. So, if this is your first time viewing my session, just so you know, I am Coach Court. I specialize in life and relationship coaching, mindset and relationship coaching. I'm all about teaching healthy mindsets, positive mental attitudes, and just love, peace, kindness, support, which is why I decided to start this YouTube community. Several different traumas I went through in my life that I wish I had some type of support, and I didn't have that. So I want to go ahead and start that up. And today's topic is, as you see, it's going to be talking about Thanksgiving and how to handle certain situations. Sorry, I know this thing, when it rubs up against my beard, it makes a lot of noise. My bad. How to handle Thanksgiving when you're either going through a divorce or you're separated, or um, you're going through a breakup. Hey, Paris. What's up, Lynn C? And I got some to do lists, some things that it's really important or imperative for you not to do when you're going through turmoil and things are not the same as they were in the past. If you were in a relationship with somebody and you were together last holiday season, together last Thanksgiving, things are going to be way different. It's going to be awkward and weird for you. It's going to be painful, and I understand. But there are some things that you don't want to do in order to make it through this day. You first off don't want to reminisce on the memories that you had about that person last year. Depending on how long you've been broken up, you do want to give yourself enough time to really process the differences and actually go through the grieving process. Because if you are just freshly broken up and you start reminiscing on Thanksgiving last year and the dynamic of how you guys celebrated it last year, that's a really big mistake, and you're actually going to be scarring yourself. I'm all about reminiscing and looking into different memories and experiences that you had in the past, but you have to be in the right mindset for that. You don't want to do it while you're still early and fresh in the grieving process, because it's just going to be hurting yourself even more, and it's going to delay your healing process. If you're in here, say hello, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want to say hello, just at least give me a thumbs up, boost my analytics so I can go ahead and push this out to the rest of the people in the community and let them know I'm going live. And another thing you don't want to do is uh, if you're meeting up with people, friends, and family, because that's what, even though it's COVID, I'm hearing that a lot of people are going to be celebrating this regardless. They're going to be meeting up with their friends and family either way, because it's some sense of normalcy in a year that wasn't normal whatsoever. You don't want to badmouth your ex when you're talking to your friends and your family, because how people treat you is their karma, how you respond is yours. And you want to put that good energy and that good karma out into the universe. You want to talk positively about them, and you want to make sure that you don't diminish your character by tearing down somebody else's character. I think that's very important. And if you're thinking about getting that person back, it's even more imperative, because you want to kind of save face You don't want to make other people see them as a bad person for if that person comes back into your life later on down the line. So you want to make sure that you plant good seeds, like I talk about, and kind of keep your situation private. And this is hard for people who are anxious attachers because anxious attachers like to share. They like to communicate with people and put their feelings out there. It's how they grieve and it's how they get through terrible times. But you don't want to burn any types of bridges because, like Don Miguel Ruiz says in the Four Agreements, be impeccable with your word. And your word is your gossiping is like black magic. Okay, anything that you say or gossip that you do, it's exactly like black magic. There is nothing good that's going to happen or a result that's going to happen from gossiping. So it's important that you're very mindful about what you say to people, how you paint the picture of your ex, um, in whatever light. And if you're going through a divorce, even more a reason for you not to trash your ex-spouse, because people aren't going to forget that. And if you're going around spreading lies or spreading, or if you're grieving and you're purely just trying to get some feelings out there, it's important that you don't do that because you have no clue whether or not that person is going to decide to come back to you or not. And then you got to have that unhealthy conversation or that uncomfortable conversation with whoever you uh, tore them down in front of. Paris, Lynn, uh, Illinois. Hey, I'm St. Louis, born and raised. Thanks for being here. 314. 314, baby. St. Louis, you know. Nelly, EI, all that. Um, so it's very important that you don't do that. You want to put that good karma out there for yourself. And I know it's tough because when you're going through breakups and especially doing divorce, it's really hard for you to maintain your centeredness. And divorce, unfortunately, is a very it's almost like an embarrassing thing to do. So when people, if I'm being honest, a lot of narcissists, they like to tear the other person down. They like to gang up on their ex-spouse. So they'll recruit as many people as they can to help them, to help side with them in order to not feel as bad about the divorce. So they don't have to take any credit or accountability for it. They'll go out and they'll tear their ex-spouse down, make them look like they were the one that were terrible and toxic in a relationship. When sometimes, if it's with a narcissist, I can tell you that it wasn't the case. Um, the narcissist was the one, most likely the reason for the relationship to fall apart. But we're not even going to go there. So if you guys are in here, I'm gonna do a little Q&A, and I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of people are traveling today for Thanksgiving. It's a huge traveling day. If you catch the replay tomorrow, this is cool too, because if you have any questions for me, just comment in the comment section and I'll respond to your. I don't have anything going on tomorrow, so no coaching calls. I don't plan on making content, but honestly, my habits nowadays are so routine. It's so ritualistic. I most likely will be making some type of content in some shape or form. Whether if it's not a quote, it's gonna be either a video or a live session or a podcast or something. I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but it's really hard to not do the things that I'm used to doing. I actually caught a live session the other day, and somebody was um, saying that, hey, if you're self-employed, if you are somebody that is a creator, you get to choose when you want to work and when you don't want to work. But that's almost not the case. Your mind is so used to doing certain things at certain times of the day and punching out certain pieces of content. It's like you can't stop yourself from doing it. It's almost like an addiction. It's a good addiction. It's one that keeps you self-driven and self-motivated, and that's the thing about entrepreneurs. Successful entrepreneurs have to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. They're not comfortable doing. So when a lot of people who join fitness competitions and they're working out, they're getting up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning and going to the gym, and they're doing it routinely. They're doing it out of consistency. It's hard for them to stop doing it. And that's why they're in much better shape and they're a lot more disciplined than the average person, because not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody wants to get up and slam down a protein shake or eat a bunch of egg whites, because it's not something that is a comfortable thing to do. But that's just it. That's why it's only 3%. See that? I don't know why I did it like that. 3%, 3% of people who um, are successful. That's why it's not a lot of men who are successful either, because unless women are willing to walk out the door and unless they've already handed them the divorce papers, they're not willing to go the extra mile as far as learning about how to communicate with their woman, how to learn their woman's love languages, learning about attachment styles. Many people, men specifically, even women, they don't want to learn about attachment styles because it's not something that's important to them. Unless their woman is saying, "Yeah, I'm out the door. I want a divorce like now," and even then they have to say it multiple times. A lot of times when I'm coaching guys that are going through a divorce, they don't realize that their wives are actually serious. They'll threaten them. They'll say, "Yeah, I don't want this anymore. I don't." And it's not until they've either met another guy or they've moved out and they're living with their friend or they're living with their parents that they actually start to like realize that this is actually really real. Okay, this is something that is okay. This sucks. Now what do I do? But this is why I think I said at one of my other coaching sessions um, that I got a really good friend who's a counselor, and he said that whenever women bring the guy to counseling, the relationship is usually salvageable. But when the guy brings the girl or the woman to the coaching or the counseling session, it's usually over. They're usually checked out. They're gone mentally, emotionally, and they don't see that person as their future anymore. They don't see them romantically anymore, and it's hard to um, reignite that relationship. Like R. Kelly said, when a woman's fed up, it's too late to talk about it. There ain't nothing you can do about it. All right, sorry, I saw y'all commenting. I'm really struggling. Hey Lisa, how can I help you? Lisa, why? I never knew about attachment styles. Yeah, it's a game changer. Definitely. Totally makes sense. Appreciate you, Paris. I see you. I need to shave. Look at this thing. Wow, I'm scrubbing. No shave November. Um, Shout out to my birthday month. You see my Black Panther balloon back there. I got some really good friends. Attachment styles can save and enlighten a lot of relationships. Yeah, you want to know the reason why I feel like attachment styles can help people, help enrich their lives and their relationships. It's because once you learn not to take things personal, because we take a lot of things personal, we feel like the way that the other person is operating is because of us. And I can tell you that that's actually a very egotistical way of operating. Not everything that happens is because of you. Not the way that people show up and the way that they act has nothing to do with you. Usually when you meet that person, it has something to do with something that happened to them a long time ago in childhood, either through childhood or their previous relationships. But we take it personal as if something's wrong with us, like if we're flawed and like we're damaged. But that's usually not the case. Unless you're somebody that's an anxious attacher, or unless you're somebody that has an unhealthy attachment style and you're doing something to trigger the other person, the anxious avoidant trap, then it's usually not about you. If you're showing up perfectly and if you're doing everything right, the reason that they pull away has something to do with what's going on with them internally. It's all about them. My, di- my dismissive avoidant ex does not get along with his family. Do you think he'll miss me during Thanksgiving with them? It's almost been 2 months of no contact. You know what? This might be the right time for you to break no contact with them, because that 3 month mark is when they really start to think about you and start to reminisce about some of the times that you guys had. They're repressing the memories and those feelings, but right now could be a good time for them to actually be willing to revisit the relationship, and if not the relationship, revisit that connection that they have with you. I said I would never contact him again, yikes. And that's just protesting behavior, and that's okay. Um, I don't think he's going to take that personally, if I'm being honest. I don't know. All people are different. But if they have like a perfectly healthy functioning brain, they will realize that some of the things that we say out of anger is purely out of anger. My guy who I think is FA just left me 5 months pregnant and said he does not feel anything for me anymore and wants to be alone. So he's getting happy feet. And the way that fearful avoidance are formed is there's like a lot of trauma going on there. Deep levels of trauma, complex trauma, not just one thing like being called ugly in middle school. There is a lot of stuff going on there, and he probably feels like, oh man, I can't be an adequate dad. I'm not going to be good at this. Um, and he's getting cold feet and is very confused about how he feels about this whole moving forward thing. I guess I would want to know, how long were you guys together, and what was the dynamic of the relationship? How did you get pregnant? If you got pregnant within the first 6 months of the relationship, um, that's tough. It was planned very much by him, and he was excited up to now. Yeah, actually, I just saw that. Yeah. So, like I said, he's probably getting cold feet. He's probably a little nervous. I don't know if he was abandoned as a kid, or if he didn't have dads that was around that showed him how to be a dad, or how to be, how to properly care for a child. There's a lot that can be going on there. Um, are you planned? Are you prepared enough to be able to raise this child on your own? If that's the case, I'm afraid if I'll be rejected if I reach out. Okay, why? Um, that's what prevents us from doing a lot of things in life. Fear, you know. We have a lot of fears, and faith and fear cannot coexist. Right now, it's your fear of rejection, and that's turning you into a fearful avoidant. We have fear of rejection, fear of vulnerability. Obviously, it's the dismissive avoidance core wounds. They fear being rejected, fear being vulnerable. The anxious attacher, we fear abandonment. All of these fears. If you think about all of the fears that are out there, it does hurt. But you know what? I could tell you that being a business owner actually helped me become more of a secure person, because you're gonna fail a lot, and you're gonna reach out to a lot of people, and you're gonna get rejected a lot. It's almost like you got to get practice in being rejected. And I know back in the day is when that whole rejection thing started, but that changes. And if you don't take the rejection personal, if you learn how to not take it personal, and that just comes from practice and repetition and constantly failing and constantly being rejected, is the only way you can really get over that. You have to face your fears in order to push through them. Does that make sense? Just like you have to practice being vulnerable in order to push through your fears of vulnerability. Like I feared talking in front of people. as a kid. I feared being vulnerable in that way. And that came from being bullied as a kid because I felt like whenever I got in front of people, I'd be scrutinized. So my fear was, um, I feared being judged. But once I realized that people are going to judge me regardless, whether I'm sitting on a couch doing nothing or if I'm standing in front of a camera and talking, that's going to happen regardless. People are, even during the election time, even if you win, like this is going back to Dr. Wayne Dyer's his book called um, Your Erroneous Zone. Even if 49% of the people love you and support you, you're still going to be rejected by 51% of the other population. It doesn't matter. You're going to get rejected. You're going to be feared. You're going to be um, judged either way. So what's the point of fearing it? Go deep into those 49% of the people who love you. And if you're in a relationship or if you're going out and you're trying to date, like just realize that there are other people out there for you. So this person wasn't for you. Say it didn't work out. There are other people out there for you. And I say this all the time. Up to this date, there are 7.8 billion people in this world. And just because one person, which we choose to attach to that one person, we make the conscious choice to put all our eggs in that one basket. And that one person turns us down or breaks up with us or leaves us or decide they don't want to be in a marriage with us anymore. We fall apart from one person, which means there's 7,800,999,000 more people out there, etc., etc., that will be willing to give us a chance and that will be willing to help us heal our unhealthy style, come to where we're at, and help us become better people. I just posted on Instagram, our whole purpose in life should be to bring value to people's life, to enrich other people's lives. And if that person doesn't see the value that you bring to their life, so be it. My DA told me he doesn't want to talk to me right now. Oh, all right, I'm catching up, sorry. Lisa Y, he has lived away from home since he was 16. He has seen a therapist now to see if it helps him, and they're going over his upbringing. Yeah, that's important. I'm very, very proud of him for doing that. It's hard because men, we're very prideful creatures, and our ego we have a hard time detaching ourselves from our ego and stepping to the side and um, letting ourselves be vulnerable. So that's awesome. My DA told me he doesn't want to talk to me right now and he needs to be alone right now. After an argument, which is why I'm hesitant to ever reach out. It's 2 months though. I would say it's safe. If he doesn't hate you, I'm sure that phase happened a long time ago. That happened about a month ago where he was going through the hate phase. And if not, I am all about getting closure as quickly as you can. Because if you don't get closure, you're going to always have in the back of your mind, what if I should have done this, I should have done that. And if one thing that 2020 has taught you is be grateful for the opportunities that you do have. Because there are people who aren't waking up in the morning. There are people who go to the grocery store and come back and contract this COVID-19. So just be grateful that you can actually get up and wake up every morning and you're able to get out there and actually go for what your heart wants. Thank you for your advice. We broke up after 5 years, so it's been rough. Yeah, 5 years is no small chunk of change. It's actually it's a lot of commitment. But if you think about all of the memories that you guys made, because there's not a lot of people who can get into a relationship and it even lasts 5 years. There are people out there who don't attach to anyone, who has never attached to anyone and never have found somebody that they want to spend 5 years with. There are people out there who have a hard time keeping a pair of shoes for 5 years, let alone a romantic relationship and sharing your most intimate moments and experiences with each other. So be grateful for that. Be grateful that you were able to find that. I can do it alone. He said he would be there for the kid and send me money, but I'm just heartbroken. Yeah, Lisa, I'm sorry. I could tell you, with single moms, you guys are the real MVPs for real, because you you make some magic happen when you don't have much to go on or many resources. Whoever has dated or dating a DA, they never come back, no matter how you try to fix. Once this is done, it's done. I have to disagree with that Queen of Swords. I've seen many cases where they actually got their dismissal back. But the major difference was that person actually wanted to change. That person got tired of the way that they operated. They started to do the research as far as like attachment styles, going to therapy, going to EFT, emotional therapist, and changing who they were. So um, I have to disagree. I will be careful about throwing everybody in the same basket, because there are people out there who are willing to make the changes, and they didn't have, because there's a different degree of dismissiveness. You know, if you guys ever took the test, it's not 100% dismissive, or it's not 100% anxious. Like there is a sliding scale there, and sometimes you just get triggered into and due to situations and more into your dismissiveness, and you can get pulled out of that. All right, we had on a half hour here, and I gotta wrap this up. This was my Thanksgiving special, and it's so cool to be here on this platform, to be able to talk to you guys. And look, I just love all y'all. It's so cool. Actually, if you're in here, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you guys do for Thanksgiving. Um, I got one of my guys. Actually, I'm sorry, not one of my guys. One of my people that are over in Germany. They they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there, so this isn't a big deal. Good to hear from you about it. Yay, so I still have hope. Yeah. Um, if if you want coaching, Queen of Swords, if you want coaching, I'll let you. If you give me the details about the situation, and I can really analyze it for you and let you know if it's worth still fighting for. Because not only am I all about getting people back together and trying to help you navigate the situation, but I'm also about getting you the closure as quickly as you can, so you can know whether or not you need to move on from this situation, or if it's worth fighting for. So thank you guys as always. Happy gobble gobble. The LA Rams play, so I'm all about that, baby. Siblings and family. That's cool. And parents, siblings and parents. Nice. Stay safe, everybody. Keep it below 10. We got a little bit above 10 in this group chat, so that might have been a problem. But also next week, I'm starting my coaching groups Wednesdays. We're going to do this over Zoom, so it's a lot more intimate of an environment. It's going to be $50 a month, but we're going to be doing this every single week. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to step away from YouTube lives, because I'm going to be doing those coaching sessions. And it's a program that I put together for people who are going through breakups, and they also want to bury themselves in personal development and healing themselves, so they can get to the healthier relationships that I know is out there for you. 7.8 billion people, okay? Woo! I'm sorry, I got my meditation deals here. Kind of keeps me calm during my sessions. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.